Well, hello everyone. This is Ron, and I'm back with you, of course, with another episode of Empire Coins and Collectibles. I do hope this episode finds you all doing well, and of course, out there looking, because we always know if you're not looking, you're not finding. And I did find another treasure or two this weekend. It's kind of an interesting episode today, and it involves Miss Empire. And we may split this up into two different episodes. But before we go there, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and that will help us grow the channel. We will be having a drawing on an Annex certified Buffalo nickel, and we hope to be giving that away soon once we reach that 1,000 subscriber milestone. And we're very, very close. We're at 910, and we hope to be there within the next week or so, and you can help us. All right, enough of all that chatter. One last thing, I apologize for the test pattern shirt. It is a bit bright at times, so if it hurts your eyes, look at the coins and not me when I turn the camera on. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So here's the backstory, and I always like to start with the backstory. My wife and I were very attuned with what's going on out in the economy. And of course, you hear all the doom and gloom a lot of the YouTubers are putting out there. It's really a concern. You need to buy your silver. The price is going down, buy the dip, and etc. And of course, some of that makes sense. And others are saying you need to move your money out of the bank because the Fed is raising rates and the economy is going to crash. I am not one of those that propagates conspiracy theories nor propagates fear along the way. I just kind of look at things for myself and see how it relates to my wife and I. So the interesting point to all of this was Miss Empire comes to me and she says, you know, with the way things are going, don't you think we ought to buy some more silver? Now, the reason why I'm laughing, if you knew my history with Miss Empire about buying silver all these years, you would say, wow, that came out of left field. So, you know, containing myself, I said, well, what type of silver do you want? You know, there's sovereign mintage, the bullions put out by the Canadian Mint, the US Mint, the British Mint, and around the world. Do you want to maybe get junk silver? That's the pre-64 silver. Or perhaps you want to get the generics. I said, what type of silver do you want? She always surprises me with, you know, she states the things very simply. She says, I want the shiny type. I said, oh, okay, we will go and buy some shiny silver. I don't know what to say to that. God bless her. I love my wife, and she's been she deserves some type of Nobel Prize for putting up with me all these years. So we call around because we know different shops have different prices. There are so many dollars over the spot price of silver. And I'm working with my computer right now because it seems like it's having a little bit of a problem. There it is. And we called well, actually, we went to our favorite store down in Burleson, Texas. And it's Burleson Gold and Silver. And you've heard me talk about this. And they were closed. It was a Saturday and they were closed. And we thought, how unusual. Now, in the past, they've had some family gatherings that they would close and go and of course, enjoy the family. And of course, we know family is one of the most important things, of course. So we got to thinking, well, maybe they didn't close for family. Maybe they closed because the spot price of silver has dropped, and it has. It was around 24, and it was 23 something. It was 22, and I think on that day it was like $21.10. But I told my wife, I said, no, it doesn't really make sense because gold and silver shops buy and sell silver, and so the average out is they're going to sell it for a little bit more than they buy it, and no matter what the price is. So we thought, well, where are we going to go to buy this shiny stuff? And I called, I had my wife dial up because I was driving. I don't drive and dial at the same time. That's against the law, by the way, here in Texas. But she dialed up Cowtown Gold and Silver. I've been there quite a number of times. And they said, well, it's going to be $4 over spot. And I thought, well, that's a decent price, but it seems a little high based on some of the YouTubers I've seen. They've gone around and called shops, and back up in the Northeast, it was like $2, $2.50 above spot for generic. So I thought, well, we can do better than that, I think. So I said, why don't we do a web search and see what other shops there are? And I said, there is another shop in Fort Worth as an example. And I said, why don't we call them? Because I've been there a number of times. And they answered promptly. And when I asked them, well, what's your price of generic silver? Now we're talking generic. They said $29. I was like, oh, $29. I was respectful. I said, well, thank you very much. But I was thinking, there's no way I'm going to pay, what is that, about $8 over spot? I think what they were doing is saying, we don't want to sell a whole lot of silver right now. You can come in and buy our coins for the collectors, but we're going to wait and see where the spot price of silver goes. That was my ad lib to what I was thinking they were thinking. But there's no way I'm going to pay $8 over spot. So I said, well, there's got to be another coin shop around as big as this area is, the tri-metroplexes. We have our Arlington, Fort Worth, and Dallas in that order, maybe, and not so much in that order. And so we did a search. We found a new one. We found Southwest Gold and Silver in Fort Worth, and it was right down the street from the Fort Worth Coin Company. So I'm going to change cameras. Well, actually, we'll see if we can see it here. We called, and they said, well, it was like $3 over spot. I think we paid $24 per ounce, which is a good value. Will that focus? And we spoke to David there. So Southwest Gold and Silver, they gave us a really good buy on generic silver, and we'll show that to you either at the end of this episode or in the next episode. I don't want this to go too long. So David was really good. They actually knew a lot of the same people that I know in the collecting community, and they knew the owner of Burleson Gold and Silver, Larry, and his son Corey. They know him very well. So we had a really good conversation with them. And I said, we're here to buy some generic silver and maybe look around at some of your slab coins. So I'm going to change to the desk camera and let you see what Miss Empire picked out. All right. And we're going to show you this coin here. So I'm looking at all these different coins from different countries and the US put out by the Mint, the highly specialized coins. And the coin prices were very reasonable. I will tell you this. So I have these 2 or 3 trays in front of me, and David's helping me, and we're looking at different coins, and he's going and bringing other coins and showing me some very unique and not so common coins that some of the other mintages have put out. And my wife, she immediately points, I want that one. And I said, well, why do you want that one? And she says, because it's beautiful. Now, if you think about it, we've talked about the 2 intrinsic values of coins, and that is, the 2 values of coins. One is the intrinsic value, which is the metal content like silver or gold. And then the other is the extrinsic value, which is the value that collectors put on it. And the value that collectors put on it really comes from the attractiveness of the coin, the rarity of the coin, how much in demand the coin is. So, you can see that you're going to pay more than the spot price of silver for these silver coins that are put out by the sovereign mints. So she said, I want this one. And I said, okay. I looked at David. I said, I guess we're getting this one in addition to the generic silver. And so I'm going to flip this over. I'll bring it up here and let you take a closer look. Look how gorgeous that lion is. Look at the detail in the lion's head. The whiskers kind of stand out. Just gorgeous. African lion. And then I'll flip it over and you can see it's from Chad, the Republic of Chad. And it's 1 ounce of 0.999 fine silver. Just very beautiful. And notice it has a sticker price on it of $50. I said, David, we'll take this. And of course, I love the NGC slab. Look at that kind of a stone or something there that they put in. And he said, okay, I'll go ahead and write it up for you. And you know what? When he wrote it up, he charged me $45 for this coin, not $50. So I thought $50 was a reasonable buy for the coin, and especially to please my lovely bride, Miss Empire. But $45 is even better. But you know, when I got back home, and I did have my phone, but I was so busy chatting. My wife says I talk too much. I didn't check it on the phone, but I want to show you something here. This is my cell phone. I'm hoping that you can see it. This is the 2018 Chad 5,000 franc African Lion 1 ounce silver coin. It sold for $73.95. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Sold for $73.95. So what is that? That's a comp, a comparable. So I paid $45 and it sold recently on September 12th for $73.95. So was it a good buy? I think it is. And this is kind of the theme we're carrying forward from the coin show. That theme is look for value. And if you get to know your coin shops and gold and silver shops, the owners and the people that work there, you take care of them, they're going to take care of you. You treat them with dignity and respect, they will treat you the same way. And you too can find true value there. How about that? Now, I'm not going to go into the silver we bought, and you can see the silver bars. I will do that in the next episode. But I just want to end it here and tell you that really, I mean, sometimes I say kind of half-heartedly, if you're not out there looking, you're not finding. Well, that is a fact. You need to be out there. If you're a collector looking for the value, if you're out there looking for silver to stack, you've got to be out there looking every opportunity. And oh, by the way, I did call one of my good friends and I said, hey, do you have any silver coins you'd like to sell? And he goes, I sure do. So he and I are going to meet one day next week and we'll buy, it's probably what you would classify as junk silver, but maybe not so much junk, but I'm going to buy silver from him. So always be asking friends and colleagues and acquaintances, do they know anybody that has coins that they want to sell? All right, that's it, my friends. You take care, and I hope to see you in the next episode, and all the best.